You're tuning into Relationship Wednesday, where we expose the lies, set fire to the bullshit, and show you what real love should actually feel like. This is the Bad Influence Podcast, the podcast they warn you about. I'm your host, Jordan Banderas, and today we're cutting through manipulation, codependency, and toxic patterns with a machete. If you're tired of walking on eggshells in your relationship, it ends now. Raw truth, real growth. Let's get into it. Let's start by saying something straight. The biggest lie you've been told is that great communication is about how well you speak. Well, that's wrong. Yes, I want to talk about this because that's wrong. It's about how well you connect. Here's the brutal truth nobody's brave enough to admit. Most conversations fail, not because of what's said, but because of what's never spoken. You've been dancing around the real stuff, avoiding vulnerability like it's radioactive. And that's exactly why your relationships feel shallow as hell. Because real connection requires risk. Yes, it does. It demands you cross the bridge of vulnerability, honesty, and emotional presence. 3 things you've probably been running from your whole life. I know because I had done this before. But guess what? No risk, no debt. Simple as that. So let me hit you with an uncomfortable question right out of the gate. When you speak, are you trying to be understood? Or just trying to be right? Because most people speak to dominate, not to relate. If you're more concerned about winning than listening, congratulations. You've officially sabotaged every meaningful relationship you've ever tried to build. Communication is in a courtroom. Stop arguing like you're trying to convict someone. Real connection lives in empathy, not evidence. You can either be right or you can be real. Choose wisely. So let me share something personal. There was a time in my life when every conversation felt like a chess match. Always strategizing, always planning moves, until one day I realized the reason I felt empty was because I was too damn scared to be seen fully, authentically, without defense. I remember sitting across from my wife, eyes glazed, completely checked out. She said, "You're talking, but you're not here." That hit me like a sledgehammer. How often are you physically present but emotionally vacant? The secret to communicating effectively is simple but brutal. It's presence, true emotional presence. It's shutting off the noise in your head long enough to truly be with someone in the moment. Here's what most people get wrong. People think presence is passive. Hell no, it's not. Presence is fierce. It's active. It's intentionally tuning into someone's frequency until they feel seen, not just heard. So do this for me right now. Think about the last conversation you had. Were you listening to respond or listening to understand? Chances are you were prepping your next comeback instead of fully absorbing the other person's experience. Let's be honest, we all do that at one point in our lives, right? This habit is destroying your relationships from the inside out. The need to control, to dominate the narrative, is killing your intimacy faster than anything else. So here's the challenge. Next time you talk to someone, I dare you to shut the hell up and listen like it matters. Not just with your ears, but with your entire body. Feel their words, feel their pain, their joy, their fear. That's presence right there. And guess what? This is what a lot of people don't realize when they try to dominate or just listen to respond. People can smell bullshit from a mile away. They can sense when your words don't match your energy. You can't fake empathy, and you damn sure can't fake connection. Your words mean nothing if your energy is screaming something else. Your tone, your posture, your eyes, they all leak truth louder than your voice ever will. So here's a tough question for you guys. What unspoken emotions are leaking to your interactions right now? Is it resentment disguised as sarcasm? Is it insecurity masked as bravado? Well, be honest with the answer, because whatever it is, it's blocking your connection. You see, effective communication isn't about polished speeches or clever comebacks. It's about congruence, your emotions matching your words. That congruence is the bridge to trust. Let me tell you about Sarah, someone who used humor as armor. We all done this at one point. I used to be like this. Everything was a joke for her, everything sarcastic. But underneath the laughter was loneliness because nobody could ever get close enough to see her real pain. Humor can heal, sure, it can, but not when it's a shield. Not when it keeps people at arm's length. Not when it kills intimacy before it can even begin. Sarah learned this the hard way. Relationships are not built through deflection. They're built through direct, raw, unfiltered communication. When she dropped the jokes and showed her pain, real connections started forming. And here's the thing. We all have a Sarah inside us. Using something to deflect real connection. Maybe for you, it's defensiveness or sarcasm or just outright avoidance. So recognize it. Call yourself out, then dismantle it. Here's a life-changing rule. Communicate as if your relationship matters more than your ego. Speak like the connection is sacred, because it fucking is. If you want deeper relationships, you need to ask better questions. Stop asking bullshit surface level nonsense like, how was your day? And start asking questions that pierce to the heart like, what scares you the most right now? These questions might be uncomfortable, but guess what? Real connection isn't built on comfort, it's built on courageous vulnerability. Your relationships lack depth because you lack courage. Courage to speak uncomfortable truths. Courage to risk rejection. Courage to show up fully. So ask yourself this right now. What truth are you withholding from someone you claim to care about? What's that one conversation you keep avoiding? There's always one. Every avoided conversation is a missed opportunity to deepen your connection. Period. You want deeper connections? Then stop avoiding conversations. You're an adult, right? Most likely, if you're listening to this, you're already considered an adult, or you're going to be considered an adult pretty soon. And in order for you to have adult friendships, you have to have what? Adult conversations. That's what deepens the connection as an adult. When you're a kid, when you're little, you have children's conversations with your friends, right? Well, when you're an adult, you're supposed to have adult conversations. Period. So let's be clear. Communication isn't about always keeping the peace. It's about daring to disrupt shallow peace to find deeper understanding. You fear conflict because you think it threatens connection. Wrong again. Conflict is often the doorway to deeper intimacy. It clears the bullshit out of the way. So stop seeing disagreements as disasters. They're invitations, opportunities to understand someone at a deeper level. Another brutal truth: you can't control anyone's reactions. If your truth offends someone, that's their shit to deal with. Your job is honesty, clarity, and authenticity, not comfort management. It is not your job. Here's a practical step. Start saying exactly what you mean without dilution or hesitation. Clarity is respect. Ambiguity is cowardice. And listen, sometimes effective communication means silence. It means giving someone the space to process without your voice crowding their thoughts. It's true. Silence isn't abandonment. It's presence amplified. It's holding space, respecting the pause. And in that silence, deeper truths reveal themselves. You'd be amazed at the depth found in moments without words. So, picture this. You're standing in the kitchen. Your partner is staring at you. Tears in their eyes, voice shaking. They just said, "I don't feel seen. I don't feel heard. I don't know if you even care anymore." And what did you do? You fire back with logic, facts, deflection. You said shit like, "You're overreacting," or "That's not what I meant," or "If you would just calm down." But you were not listening. You were not present. You were protecting your ego, right? Defending your position, winning the argument, and in doing so, you lost the connection. The silence that followed, it wasn't peace. It was grief. You watched their eyes change from love to distance, from passion to pain. And in that moment, you didn't just lose the argument, you lost a piece of them. That's the moment you should have leaned in. That's when you should have shut the hell up, dropped the script in your head, and listened like their heart was the only thing that mattered. But you didn't. Because you thought being right will save you. Well, let me break the news. It didn't. You walked away winning, but now you sleep next to someone who's emotionally miles away. Or maybe you don't sleep next to them at all anymore. That's the cost of shallow communication. That's the price of defending your pride over revealing your presence. So let's be brutally clear. Communication is never about being the smartest person in the room. No, it is not. It's about making the other person feel safe enough to bring their whole self to the table. You want real connection? You better be willing to lose the fight to save the relationship. Because when it's all said and done, no one remembers the bulletproof logic. No, they don't. They remember whether they felt seen, safe, and sacred in your presence. That's what you robbed them of. But here's your redemption. Next conversation you have, don't try to impress. Try to immerse. Shut up, breathe, let them feel you listening. That's how the healing begins. Now, let's dismantle one last myth. Great communicators are not born. They're built. Okay? Communication is a skill you practice relentlessly, intentionally, and daily. Practice radical empathy. Practice courageous honesty. Practice silence. Practice presence. Every conversation is training. Every interaction a gym session for your emotional muscle. Build your capacity to stay present even when conversations get tough. That's the secret sauce of powerful communication. So understand this. Connection isn't convenience, it's commitment. You can't shortcut it. You have to show up fully, repeatedly, bravely. Because most people avoid true intimacy because it demands continuous vulnerability. But intimacy is the juice of life. Stop running from it. So if communication is the bridge, then vulnerability is the foundation. And if you won't lay that foundation, your relationships will always collapse under pressure. Real connection demands you stop protecting yourself from rejection. Newsflash. This is going to be a surprise for a lot of you. But you will be rejected. And the only thing that you can do is to embrace it, to own it, to move through it. Because every rejection brings you closer to real relationships. Every honest conversation filters out superficial connections. Stop collecting shallow interactions. Aim for deep ones, even if it means fewer connections overall. Quality beats quantity every damn time. Another critical skill, owning your mistakes openly, fiercely. Admit when you screw up. Vulnerability and failure builds trust faster than perfection ever could. You build deeper relationships through authentic accountability. Own your shit and watch people trust you deeper, faster. And you're going to have some of the best relationships when you do this. And remember this. Real communication isn't complicated. It's courageous. It's consistently choosing truth over comfort, honesty over performance. The choice to show up fully, vulnerably, authentically, that's where real powerful communication begins and ends. It starts now, today, in your next conversation. So make a decision. No more half-assed connections. No more guarded conversations. Show up fully or don't bother showing up at all. Now go out there and speak like your relationships matter. Because they do. Communicate from presence, from courage, from radical authenticity. Build bridges worth crossing. That's your new standard. No exceptions, no excuses. And remember, the choice is yours. And that's it for today. If this episode peeled back the mask on your relationship, don't ignore it. You deserve more than crumbs. Draw the line. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss the truth bombs that actually change lives. Share this with someone who needs to wake up to real love, not manipulation. This is the Bad Influence Podcast. Until next time, know your worth, speak your truth, and never flinch. And have a great day.